Honourable Speaker, as agreed, we will process Bill number 3 of 2016, Physical Planning. Thank you, sir.
Government Business Bills, first reading, Bill number 3 of 2016, Physical Planning.
Second reading when?
Today and now, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honourable members, I beg to move. Oh, there is a motion. And the motion is that Bill number 3 of 2016 be, second reading of Bill number 3 of 2016 be taken today and now. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. Motion is carried. Honourable Minister, 28 days waiver.
Mr. Speaker, sir, considering the importance of this bill, I beg to move that all relevant standing orders be suspended to waive the 28-day notice and allow this bill to be read a second time. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. Honourable members, the motion is that all relevant standing orders be suspended in order to waive the 28-day requirement in order to allow the Minister to present the bill, to second reading of the bill today. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. Motion is carried.
Bills, second reading, Bill number 3 of 2016, Physical Planning.
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, sir, this bill seeks to provide for all matters connected to physical planning. The bill makes provision for orderly and progressive development of land in both urban and rural areas. It also makes provision for the granting of permits to develop land and such other powers of control and use of land. Mr. Speaker, sir, honourable members, the bill establishes two institutions. Firstly, the bill establishes the Fiscal Planning Council. The Council will, among other things, be responsible for resolving disputes on matters of fiscal planning, advising government on broad planning policies, planning standards, and national fiscal development plans. Mr. Speaker, sir, secondly, the bill establishes the Fiscal Planners Board. It has been observed that the profession of fiscal planning is not regulated in this country. The Fiscal Planners Board will be tasked with the responsibility of registering fiscal planners in Malawi and regulating their activities and conduct. Mr. Speaker, sir, the bill also makes provision for the establishment of local planning committees, and it stipulates guidelines for the composition of such committees so that only relevant and critical members or persons are members. It also recommends that such a planning committee must be appointed by a local government authority of the area. Mr. Speaker, sir, this bill therefore comprises one comprehensive statute and encompasses matters of physical planning, urban and rural development, and decentralized land management. This is in tandem with the national land policy, which advocates for the making of the whole of Malawi a planning area. The bill further repeals the Town and Country Planning Act. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would strongly recommend this bill to this august House, and I invite all honourable members to support the bill. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development. May I recognize the spokesperson from the Malawi Congress Party on Physical Planning Matters?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for according Malawi Congress Party a voice on this very, very important and long-awaited bill. Mr. Speaker, sir, just as the Minister alluded, this actually the bills, the land-related bills are very important bills, and we know that a lot of issues have been held on standby because of these missing elements in our legislation. However, Mr. Speaker, sir, we believe that it is important when we have time or when a chance comes that these bills come to Parliament, we make sure that we polish where we can. First to note, Mr. Speaker, sir, these bills were written a long time ago, and with the passing of time, a lot of things have changed, and a lot of considerations need to be made to make sure that these bills are very successful in the implementation. The whole object of planning, Mr. Speaker, sir, is the physical environment, which is taken to mean land and all its uses, along with everything that has tangible existence on land or beneath the land surface. Planning also includes the manner and style by which buildings are laid out in any council and the design of public places. Physical environments are partly natural or partly man-made. As a satisfying man-made or built environment is the ultimate goal of planning. But relations between natural and built environments and interactions between people and the environments are also a very vital concern. Human activities can therefore have a negative impact on such conditions, and sometimes can even be very hazardous to human beings as well. Therefore, planners should actually be concerned to protect natural environments from the adverse effects of human use, e.g. like water pollution, and to protect people as well from natural circumstances. I'm talking of issues like, for example, flood zones, which are a big issue here in Malawi. You see that these issues, like the ones I just raised, are not appearing in this physical planning bill. Suffice to say that there are a few things, I could have as well skipped them, but because of the way the committees, goes through the bills as they look at them, sometimes they get to look at the Hansards. That's why I feel it's important for me to raise a few issues on the bill so that they can capture that when they consider that. Firstly is the section 20, which talks about a district council having a committee. On subsection 4, it mentions of an ex-official members, but the whole bill does not relate or does not clearly stipulate which are ex-official members. Section 24, it talks about formulation of a national physical development plan. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have said it over and over again in this House that there is a need for this country to have a proper strategic plan. And therefore, it becomes very important that such a national physical plan should be a result or a child of a national strategic plan. It must come from there. And then section 27, subsection 2, it gives the minister the power to approve a national physical development plan which has been prepared by the commissioner. And then it says the minister may, that means upon his own feelings or indulgence, bring the plan, the national plan to Parliament for noting, for information. We believe as Malawi Congress Party that probably there things have been turned the other way around, because in the hands of two people. Probably the minister should be informed, and then he should bring it to Parliament for approval. This I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, sir, because of sometimes, you know, the way we get our ministers. Sometimes they may not be competent in that particular field, because these are political appointments. So sometimes it's possible to bring it to Parliament so that people from all angles can have a look at it. Section 30 talks of, gives a leeway that it is possible that a district may not have a physical development plan. subsection A says elaborate on and apply the principles and policy of national physical development if any is in existence. We believe that it is supposed to be mandatory that a district should have a physical plan, and we must not leave room for such. Section 34 talks of a physical development plan, and then subsection C says a statement on planning policies and proposals. Section 1, it says a local physical development plan shall include the following. C, a statement on planning policies and proposals. We thought that it would be important that all these, even the elements on the district councils, should be able to build up from the national physical planning, which also in return will have built up on the national strategic plan of the whole country. Section 35, Mr. Speaker, sir, subsection 2, it talks of a similar arrangement which we have just been talking in this house, where there's an issue which is supposed to happen and some people are proposing a motion. This section 2, it says that when there is a physical planning development which has not yet been approved, all the government bodies should make sure that in all their submissions, they should take into consideration this which is still underway, though not approved. But there is a need to establish a deliberate mechanism so that all these people can well be informed on what exactly is happening or is coming to come. And then section 40 gives the minister powers as well to revoke any plan. And under subsection 1 of the same, we believe that there's also a need to provide for appeals. If people are not well, do not believe in what the minister is doing, should be able to appeal. Section 43, I'll go through them very quickly and I'm about to be done, don't worry. Section 43, subsection 5, it says, I will read this, where a customary land committee fails to comply with a layout plan in its authorization of use and occupation of customary land for the erection of any building, the minister may, where the customary land is within land development control area and after consultation with the planning committee, declare such land to be government land. Just like that. Section 6 also talks about the same. We feel that there must be a way to be able to talk to people, and they must, we mustn't give too much powers to make sure that it's easier to just change all the land to government land, just like that. That is why probably some people elsewhere say that maybe chiefs could be having some fears somewhere. Subsection 48, Mr. Speaker, sir, section 48 gives room for the minister to withdraw any application. We also believe that there is need to provide reasons when the minister does that. Lastly, looking at these sections, section 67, it says it's about the acquisition of land. And this section gives power to the minister to acquire land by compulsory. We thought that in this democratic era, probably we must be able to give more room for people to talk and discuss. If the minister wants to acquire land, let him talk to the owners and make some probably maybe compensations and stuff like that. And then in subsection 2, it says any acquisition of the land and payment of compensation thereof in this act shall be in accordance with the Land Acquisition Act. Now we know that we've seen it on the other paper, there's a Land Acquisition Act which has not yet come into the House. So how do we consider this when something else that has not come into the House is being referred to? So probably it's important to refer to probably start with the Land Acquisition Act so that we know what is in the Land Acquisition Act before we say this is right and it must be able to go. Mr. Speaker, sir, I could go on and on, but probably time may not allow me. But what I wanted to say is that to plan a physical environment means to impose some deliberate order upon it with the aim of achieving a desirable standard or environmental quality. Environmental quality is the heart of planning practice. National planners should therefore be concerned with such matters as the protection of farmlands, and as somebody said, from the agriculture, other valued resources sites such as forests, mineral deposits, seashores, and lake shores. Actually, the fact that up to date we still have not declared Salima as a city is a clear indication that we lack such concerns of planning. Talk of preservations of unique natural or historical features, locations of highways and other transportation facilities, such as pipelines, airports, which have been talked about in this place, the growth prospects of communities located throughout the country. It is therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, required that physical planning, for example, if we look at a city like Lilongwe, Blantyre, maybe even Mzuzu, you see that the planners must also have taken into account the problems that are caused by a city's expansion. It is therefore very important that you also look at the
Honorable spokesperson, will you consider winding up?
Yes, I'm winding out, Mr. Speaker, sir. I was looking at the standing orders to check the time that I had, but anyway, it's okay. But anyway, it's important, Mr. Speaker, sir, that when the people that are going to scrutinize these bills should know these facts, because some of us will probably not have the chance to contribute. So it's very important that we put them in. Anyway, Mr. Speaker, sir, with these few remarks, I would want to say that we support this bill, but it must be referred to a committee to probably scrutinize it properly. They must be able to see and make sure that we leave no stones unturned. A good example, Mr. Speaker, of lack of plans. If you go to our council's plans, you discover that there are no areas where they have given places, for example, for lodges in this city. That's why we have bars in our neighborhood in the residential, because there's nothing, they didn't allocate anything for lodges. So these are important issues that we need to look at. Because of the high energies, that level, Mr. Speaker, sir, I reserve my comments and therefore we need to stop here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Spokesperson for Malawi Congress Party. I'm encouraged by the detail, and those committees that this bill will be referred to, they know some resource persons from their contributions on the floor. May I recognize the spokesperson from PP on fiscal planning matters?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Constituency, please.
Chitipa North constituency.
Chitipa North constituency.
Yes, if I had to say something, it has to be very little, because a lot has been covered by my colleague from Malawi Congress Party, who has eloquently expressed himself and gone into detail on this bill of fiscal planning. Again, as far as People's Party is concerned, we're in support of the bill, and we feel that some of the disasters that we're seeing in the country, they're coming about because we haven't done a good job on fiscal planning. We have forgotten the land use capability of Malawi. People are putting settlements anywhere like we don't see them, causing a lot of damage to our forests, to our rivers, our soils, and name it. And being from an agricultural background, some of the poor soils that we're experiencing today, they're a result of poor fiscal planning. So I believe that when this bill is finally passed, we're going to have very good planning of all the agricultural land to make sure that if I have a farm downstream, I shouldn't be affected by somebody who is also plowing upstream because of poor planning. Let alone, Mr. Right Honorable Speaker, when we look at our cities, the condition in which they are, the roads, the buildings, anybody wakes up in the morning, decides to build what he wants to do. As a result, accessibility in some parts of our townships are quite difficult. So with these few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I think it is proper and right to refer this bill to Transport and Public Works Committee, but also the Agricultural, I am not going to be, yeah, I think as far as I'm concerned is Transport and Public Works, Agriculture, and Natural Resources. I think these would do the job. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. This means that the bill is now open for general debate. maybe I should recognize the Minister for Fiscal Planning to start the debate and refer it to a committee.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Allow me to thank all the spokespersons from parties that have spoken. I would like to also state that these bills are related, and therefore they should be seen as a package. There are 10 land-related bills that need to be considered together. And therefore, considering the technical nature of this bill, I beg to move, Mr. Speaker, that the debate be suspended and that the bill be referred to the following committees: Legal Affairs, Natural Resources, Women's Caucus, and Agriculture. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move.
Thank you. Honourable members, there is a motion, and the motion at the debate on the bill number 3 of 2016, fiscal planning, be suspended in order for this House to refer the bill for further scrutiny to the following committees: Legal Affairs Committee, Natural Resources Committee, Women Caucus, and Agriculture Committee. As many are of that opinion, say aye. As many are of the contrary opinion, say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Leader of the House.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Before you adjourn the House, I thought I should just remind my honourable colleagues that tomorrow government will prioritize the processing of the other land bills, more especially Bill number 6 of 2016, Bill number 9 of 2016, Bill number 10 of 2016, and thereafter Bill number 1 of 2016 and Bill number 12 of 2016. Thank you, Honourable Speaker, sir.
Thank you very much, Leader of the House. Honourable members, it is 17:44, and let me thank you so much for staying past our normal knock-off time. That shows dedication, and as chair, I'm really appreciative. I would like now to adjourn the House to tomorrow, 9:30 before noon. House adjourned.